The suspect in that deadly grocery store shooting in court for the first time. 21-year-old AHMAD ALISSA is accused of walking into a Boulder supermarket on Monday with a high-powered rifle and firing at shoppers and employees. He's charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder. NBC News correspondent Steve Patterson is in Boulder, Colorado for us now. Steve, the courtroom was closed to the public, I know, but what do we know about what happened today?
And Aaron, this was a first appearance that lasted all of 5 or 6 minutes. The judge ruling today that ALISSA would be held without bail, as expected. The defendant in court wearing that jail smock, a white face cloth, sitting in a wheelchair. When the judge asked if he understood the charges against him, he simply responded, yes. The defense, meanwhile, saying they needed more time to deliberate, asking the judge to extend what would be normally a 35-day right to a speedy preliminary trial, waiving that instead to ask to assess they said they needed to assess the mental capacity of their client. The judge agreed to that, so it will be at least another 60 days before we have another hearing. Outside of court, the district attorney gave a brief press conference telling us that the scene was still being processed, so shedding a little more light on the investigation and saying that there would be more charges to follow. He said within the next 2 weeks. We asked to elaborate. He would not. We also asked the public defender if he thought that his client was mentally competent enough to stand trial, and he gave me no response. Aaron, back to you.
Steve, I know there hasn't been much talk about a motive here. It's still a bit unclear. What are people who know him, telling you about Mr. ALISSA?
No, I spoke to 2 young men who said they knew AHMAD ALISSA in high school. One of them, Angel Hernandez, says he was on the wrestling team with Mr. ALISSA and said that there was a culture of bullying against the suspect, as we hear in many of these mass shootings. It's pretty too common, I should say. But, you know, obviously they didn't want to say that as per a motive in this case. They weren't telling me this to, excuse what had happened a few days ago in that horrific mass shooting. They just wanted people to know what they knew about the suspect. And to further elaborate, I want you to play for you some sound of what exactly they told me about their experience in high school. Listen to this. What did they say to him?
They would just make fun of his last name. They would make terrorist jokes. They would go the whole 9 yards.
I think he just was tired of all the bullying and everything going on, and I feel like he just lashed out. He was a good guy. He's super cheerful, super joyful.
Hernandez also says he saw the suspect probably about a month and a half before the shooting itself. I asked what the exchange was like. He said it was normal and no sign of him being isolated or otherwise aggravated.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.